Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host Josiah, aka Mahler67, and with me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. We stayed up late playing the Bakura game. That me and you started. It's like a 2-player co-op thing. I thought it was a game about two brothers. It turns out to just be about two friends enjoying the game. And then after we got off, I went lay down and I'm like, I'm gonna watch some Who's Line. Passed out after like 20 seconds.
Oh man,
but then
that was me.
I woke up at 8 a.m. No, I woke up at 7:30 because my legs started hurting. And I'm like, oh, my legs hurting. Maybe I'll just like rearrange and it'll be fine. No, it didn't stop until like 8. And then I got up and I'm like, fine, I'll get up. I'll play some games or something like that. Next thing I know, I start watching the show we have to watch, Ducktales. It becomes 3 o'clock and I realize, oh, I'm not going to go back to sleep, am I? I'm up now. I'm officially up at 7 o'clock. That's fine. On a weekday, waking up early. And so I just stayed up, watched all of what I had left of DuckTales, proceeded to start watching a bunch of YouTube videos, playing a couple Steam games. No, not a bad day. Not a bad day.
Yeah.
Just relax. What about you, man? How was your work?
Well, I woke up at 7:15.
Okay.
And I had to be at work at 8, so I worked from 8 until 1. Picked up Ralph because my wife went to Zambezi Bay today because she had like Zambezi Bay, the old commercials. But then she had a bachelorette party she had to do today. So after
who she get married to?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay,
it's her friends. So then what was it? Oh, so after work, I decided to have my buddy Andrew and his girlfriend over, and we played some Magic. And then we went to a couple game stores. And then we came back, and then I had dinner. And then I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to watch the last 2 episodes of DuckTales. So I just finished it up, not even like 2 seconds before you sat down to actually start this podcast. I was like, oh man, I gotta finish and see what happens at the end. So yeah, pretty much that was my whole day. I'm off tomorrow and I'm off Tuesday, but I have to wake up again early tomorrow because I have a physical for the doctor for foster care that we have to do for the state. So
physical, yeah. Like a physical, like what they used to do in school type deal thing.
Yep.
Make you turn your head, cough.
Oh well, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Why do they make you do a physical for like?
It's just part of like just to see if you are capable of taking care of kids.
That's weird. That's crazy. I've like met a couple people who've been like foster care people, and they're not the most healthiest people in the world.
No,
but I guess it's enough for like I mean it's a physical. It's a physical. It's nothing like intensive. So I guess as long as you're not walking in there and being like, I can't move my leg, they'll be like, yeah, no, you're good, whatever. Get these kids out of the foster agency. No, that's okay. Well, I hope that goes well for you.
Yeah.
Hope all that stuff gets figured out, so that way you can do what you gotta do. Do what you want to do.
Yep.
See, it's good. Are you guys going to move, or are you guys going to do it at the current house?
Right here, where we're at right now.
Okay.
We're actually the room that I'm in right now. We have been talking lately about like how we're going to do the whole setup thing, because I said I still have to have my computer, I still have to do the podcast, still got to do all that, and I want to have my computer. So we have decided that I'm going to move it in the bedroom, and this room is going to be the foster room. But we figured out how we're going to do the bedroom and everything. So like we're like, hey, this will work this way, this will work that way. I'm still trying to convince her to do a projector to the ceiling, so then I can lay in bed and just watch TV.
That's a great idea. I wonder where you got that idea from.
Well, I've had that idea for a long time, and I've tried to convince her so many times of that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't try convincing her to get you one of those sheds.
I did. I tried.
because that would have solved all the issue. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we get this shed, maybe like $400, $500, $600 tops, somewhere around there. We park it
Put
outside.
electric in it. Put like
Yep.
put like a heater in it and air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just throw all those things in there. You know your watt maximum that you can do out there, so you know not to do certain things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy. Then you have your own little man cave. You can decorate however you want, and it's off away from the side, so that way all of her friends, when they come over, won't see the eyesore that is your computer nor your like fandoms. They
Yeah,
won't see
right.
your
A little man cave.
oh, what the heck is that movie? The Departed poster up on your wall. They won't see any of that, and she doesn't have to hide herself in shame. But
True.
no. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, if I lived in a house that wasn't that big, we had a yard. We know we were going to stay there for a long time, and they like my partner did not want this like my gaming stuff to be in like the room or whatever. That is what I'd be pushing for. I'm like that.
Yeah.
We're solid. As long
Yeah,
I'll insulate it myself. I'll get everything set up. I'll get a friend who knows electricity to come over, and we'll wire that baby up. And the great thing is if it catches on fire and burns down the place, it's just my stuff that gets burned down, not the house.
Yeah.
I'm taking all the risk.
I've been thinking about it. Like, I think I'll convince her sooner or later, because once I am in the bedroom twice, playing games while she's trying to sleep, I know that it's going to be like, all right, let's figure out something else. And be like, hey, shed.
Shed. She's like, no, we're going to have to adopt a kid that likes video game noises as they sleep.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm not going to do it. No, you're going to just have it out in the living room then.
Yeah. There's no
like
living room anymore. It's just my game.
It's just your game room. It'll be great. All right, Austin. Well, talking about no living room, just your game room now. This week we watched Ducktales season 2. That wasn't really a connection whatsoever. I just needed to segue into it, and so I just did it.
I don't know.
So, Austin, what did you think of Ducktales season 2?
A lot of interesting stuff happened this season.
Yeah, a lot more plot heavy in this season.
Yeah, we got to see that Della Duck is still alive, and she was on the moon. And she lived in the desert forever, but there was actually a moon race people. She was upset about that. We also found out that the moon people were, deciding to invade Earth. That was like the last episode. That was the whole thing. And Launchpad actually finds a lady, I'm thinking. Yeah, poor Launchpad. There was some great episodes this season. I really enjoyed this season a lot more actually than season 1 actually. I knew Darkwing Duck was going to make another appearance again.
He got his own episode.
Yeah.
He got a full episode devoted to him.
Yeah, so I was excited. We also found out some things about the vultures. The vultures, like the people that deal with Uncle Scrooge's money. Like the board. Yeah. We find out that they're actually kind of evil,
Well, we don't find that out. That's like the teaser at the end of the season's finale.
I don't know.
Up to that point, they were just kind of seen as like
Scrooge's
fantasy. Well, it's like his board members and everything of that sort. So it's like they're stingy on money for that reason, and that's fine.
There was a little Donald Duck episode that was a very popular. It's like a hidden. I'm trying to think what you would call it, but it's more of like something that fans like to see of Donald Duck, which is the Three Caballeros.
Oh yeah.
They did an episode on that, which was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that episode a lot.
Yeah, I like the episode just because of the fact that they're like, yeah, it's my old college band, and Scrooge is like, they suck, they were horrible. And then they're like, no, we'll get the band back together. And then at the end, you find out that they're all like broke adults, and they're just like, I just really need this, man.
Yeah, I just needed this, man. I just really needed it. Yeah, it was. This season was fire. I actually enjoyed a lot of the seasons. There was a lot of great episodes. I really enjoyed the episode where we find out like the backstory of Scrooge's arch nemesis.
Glomgold.
Yeah, Longgold, and actually, how Scrooge like was trying to teach him patience and like earning his money, and like gives him the dime, and he's like, no, just a lazy dime, and then he's becomes the evilest person. But I actually like him.
I love the backstory just for the sheer fact that you learn that he's not Scottish at all.
Nope.
He's
from Africa.
He's like the most non Scrooge McDuck person, but because Scrooge did that to him, he's like, I'm just going to beat Scrooge McDuck. So I'm just going to make a bootleg version of Scrooge McDuck and then put him into obscurity, and everyone will remember the Glomgold name, not Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, that was a very funny, and also the fact that his beard was like fake. It was just a fake beard. Was also another like really funny part that I liked about that episode. But no, like that whole episode and everything that happened in that episode was very it's funny when you see that Glomgold and Scrooge are actually like very two different like age groups. Scrooge is supposed to be like 80ish, and then Glomgold's apparently like 30 or 40. Like he's young. But you think that he's a really old person because of how he dresses and everything. But no, that was a really good episode. This season had my favorite joke in it that I still think about, and whenever it played, I cackled like a mad idiot again. It was the professor dude, the guy who played Fred, Jim Rash. Right. And it's whenever they're all like fighting the moon invasion dudes, and he's just like, guys, keep pushing. Then he gets shot and murdered, and they're like, no, Glowworm. And then it just zooms over to the right, and there's another one who's like, don't worry, that was just a clone. I'm the and then he gets shot, and then like they're like, and then it zooms over to like 4 more. It's like, we don't know if that was the original one or not, but let's go. That just like I butchered that, but the take of that scene made me laugh so hard, and when it happened again, I just laughed again because I find that joke really funny. This idea that it's like, don't worry, that's just a clone. Boom, we don't know if that was the clone though. But that was good. I really liked the Darkwing Duck episode as well, like the whole behind the scene one. Just because I believed. I can't remember if that was shown in this season or not, so I'm not going to say that. But yeah, like the whole new Darkwing Duck coming up, the old one being like kind of like a sellout, kind of goes up insane at the end, and they all like capture that. I did also like the meta narrative of that episode being like, oh, it's a Darkwing Duck. It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. It's making fun of Batman and like the Christopher Nolan Batman films. And then it's like, well, the bad guy needs to have a twirly mustache. And then it's the rat dude from the Darkwing Duck. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I also liked they brought in a lot of the other villains from the other Disney shows that they had. Mm-hmm. There's the episode where, they're like, what was it? It's the episode where Louis actually, I think, wins his fortune or something like that.
Yeah, like the second to last episode where
yeah, I think so. And
they all come together.
Yeah, so there was like 3 villains. So there's the dog that has like a sword, and he has like a general jacket. That's from Tailspin, actually. That villain is from Tailspin.
Well, he was also in last season.
Yeah, he was also in the last season too. I forgot about that. But also, there was 2 other villains from Darkwing Duck, and they also did more villains from the original Ducktales that season, that episode, which I was really happy about because I was like, wow, I haven't seen like the old lady burglar, she was there last season, but like, I didn't think they were gonna bring her back again.
Oh no, Mom Beagle or Beagle or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
No, she's a staple. You see her all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing is like I don't remember much about the original DuckTales TV show.
Mm.
But like whenever I see certain characters, my brain's like, I remember them being a thing. I remember that character being a thing. And one of those character is the caveman. Because I remember watching like an episode with Wendy and the caveman, and like me being like, okay, I don't understand why this caveman's here. And I like how they introduce him in this one where it's like, oh, Louis is going back in time, steal lost treasures, which explains why the treasure is lost to begin with. Because Louis has been going and stealing it out of time. Love that concept. I also love the fact that Launchpad goes into a monologue about how time doesn't matter because anything we do have already been done and everything of that sort. Because he explained the concept of, I think it's the bootstrap theory, where it's like, oh, if you, like for instance, Futurama, if you go back in time and you impregnate your great grandma and you're born from it, that's a bootstrap. Where would it have began in the timeline? It's like it's always been there. It's a strap. It goes around in circles. And Launchpad explains that so elegantly, and everyone else is just like, "You're speaking nonsense, Launchpad." It's probably my favorite joke is that like when Launchpad actually says something smart, and everyone's just so used to him being stupid that they never like listen to him. Because he also says a similar like monologue thing whenever he talks about Darkwing Duck in the Darkwing Duck episode, and he starts talking about like the meaning of Darkwing Duck, what it's supposed to impose. And Scrooge is like, this is probably the most articulate I've ever heard him. He's like, he's really he knows a lot about this single subject. And I just connected with that. But yeah, like I really loved the whole different characters.
We also got Lance Riddick doing a role here. He just passed away a year ago. He plays like the leader of the Moon people. You know what's
funny? I didn't look up voice actors, but he was one that when he talked, I'm like, he sounds so familiar.
Yep.
How do I know this person? I never looked it up. And so that makes sense. That explains it.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, he did really good.
I will say I missed one voice actor that I love catching whenever I hear him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's their rich cousin. It's played by Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah, Paul F. Tompkins. Okay.
And he's been in like a couple Dropout shows recently. He's also been on a couple podcasts I listen to. And anytime I hear that man, I instantly like cue in on his voice because he has a very distinct voice. And I think that's what makes him such a great voice actor. Because you have like two camps of voice actors, right? You have the type who can like change and mask their voice so masterfully that they just fit in many different roles. And then you have other people who have like this distinct, interesting voice that you love to put in voices because he like matches the energy of the character very well. And that's how I feel about Paul F. Tompkins.
Well, that's how I feel about Tom Kennedy, because Tom Kennedy made a appearance this season too. He played the doctor. I forget his name. His name's like Dr. Atmonts. It was the episode called Dangerous Chemistry with Gale. With Gandry D. The punk rock scientist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's played by Tom Kennedy, and a lot of people know Tom Kennedy as SpongeBob SquarePants, the voice of SpongeBob. So like when I heard him like talk, I was like, "Is that Tom Kennedy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's made an appearance, and then the other guy that does Patrick from that show, he's made an appearance on the show already too. So they're always like, most people are always going back and forth in between shows. So
I'm still over here like, we mentioned it last episode when we mentioned how it's just kind of crazy the level of voice actors they got for the show. And I still like whenever he had his own special episode, Lin-Manuel Miranda, guy who did Hamilton, he is Gyro Duck, or I say Gyro Duck, but I don't think it's Gyro Duck. It's something else. The guy who says blabbering blabber stack, and then all the stuff comes to him. That's him. That's who he voices. And anytime he talks, I'm always like, the freak, how'd they get him? Was this pre or post Hamilton? And if it was post Hamilton, gosh dang, like they must have loved that boy.
There was one voice actor that I didn't know that was in this episode, but he sounded really familiar. And he doesn't do a lot of voice acting. Actually, he's not really known for being an actor. He's known for being a director.
Okay.
But when I've heard him talk, and I remember watching this episode, and I was like, that sounds like him. But why would he be doing that episode? And that is, have you ever heard of the director Edgar Wright?
No.
I know you have. You've seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Edgar Wright did all like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and all those movies. Edgar Wright did all those movies. Edgar Wright was a voice in the Darkwing Duck episode. He was he was Alistar. He was Alistar. I forget his last name.
From what?
He was in the Darkwing Duck episode, the one where
the main one.
Yes. It was the here. Let's see. Episode 16. It was the Dark Knight Returns.
I understand that, but
yeah, Alistar. He played. Let me see. I forget how he looks.
Yeah, if you told me what he looked like or whatnot, I would know what you're talking about. But
yeah, can't really describe him.
I'm
He's
not sure.
he's the one that was he was holding the movie poster like this. He was like the director. He had like the weird eyes.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
The director dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is actually played by Edgar Wright, which is a director, which is pretty funny. Because when I was listening to him talk, I was like, this sounds like Edgar Wright. Like I've heard Edgar Wright talk multiple times on commentary because I'm a huge fan of, like Shaun of the Dead, his movies that he's done. So, I always listen to commentary and he's always on it usually. So it was kind of funny seeing Edgar Wright be in a Ducktales show, but just like what Danny Pudi, is that how you say his name? Danny Pudi?
The person who voices Huey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce his name? Danny
It's
Pudi?
I don't even want to butcher it. It's like Danny Putin.
Yeah. I remember him doing like an interview with Larry King, and Larry King says something to him.
He's like, have you ever thought about driving a private jet? He's like, Larry, I'm on Ducktales.
Yeah. Kind of how I felt with Edgar right there when he was like doing that voice. Is like, but Larry, I'm on Ducktales. But yeah, this season was really good. I really enjoyed it. I liked the whole storyline that they had about when Della was on the moon and trying to get back. Like we got all the backstory for that. I really enjoyed it, and I had to like pause. The song she sings to like the little like monster creature, because she's like, here, let me sing the songs to her. I was like, oh man, that's really nice. It was a really well, small little lullaby thing, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
It got me a little teary. I was like, oh no, DuckTales is tearing me up. Ooh. But, so.
You know what I find funny though?
What's that?
Right. So like, I always think about the Disney, like the Mickey Mouse Disney show, right? From whenever we were at Disney, and we both agreed like this was a really good show or whatnot. The episode where they find Donald on the island, and he has the melon. That's the voice actor from that show, from that Mickey. And the second he like voiced it, my brain instantly went to like, that's him. That is 100% him. They just got the other voice actor to do his part, which was hilarious. That Donald went crazy and like was trying to survive, and he had melons right there he could have ate. And then just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of like jokes made in the DuckTales show that I think are like really well done and very well put together. I also feel like the good thing about the show too is that I never feel like the humor is forced. The only person I feel like can force their humor a little bit is Launchpad, but that's because he's more like he's not as smart.
Character.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Patrick of the show.
Yeah.
But you know that's the build of the character. That's intentional. But the thing I like about Launchpad is that like every now and then he actually like comes through. Like whenever they're that the one where they're trying to find the secret to the one what the heck was it? They were trying to find the creator of the Duckburg, and how like they discover it's all popcorn that he made, and then Launchpad has to drive out, and in the beginning of the episode she's like, why is the seat so pivoty? And it's like, so that way you can turn to look at the casters and let them know that you're about to crash. It's soothing that way. She's like, what? And then later in the episode when he turns to them all and says, everyone, we're about to crash, she's like, wow, that was actually pretty soothing. I like that little stuff. And then it has like the little stupid hamster too. But it's just like you have a hamster pulling like doing your turbo. He's like, yeah, of course, a gerbil couldn't do it. It makes me laugh. I really like their style that they do there.
So they also brought back one of the original Huey, Dewey, and Louie voice actors.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Christmas episode. Do you remember the Christmas episode with all the ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay, so
which one was he?
He was the past. He was like the past Donald, or like not Donald.
Scrooge.
Yeah, he was the one that had like the guitar and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, not past.
It's not Scrooge. It's like
it's Donald. It's Donald in the past. Because that's whenever they because that episode made me laugh because he's like, oh, I hate that. Yeah,
that is the original voice actor from. Those are the original voice actor. I think he did all of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. The original ones.
He did all of them.
I think so, because they all sound the same to me. Like I don't see the difference.
For sure, dude. They 100% sound the same.
Yeah, and then Jack McBear was in this episode too, which I don't know if you know who Jack McBear is. He's a lot of people know him, like know his voice. He played Past. Actually, he becomes like that monster. He's like the Jiminy Cricket character almost. Yeah. So he's in. He plays Fix It Fearless and Wreck-It Ralph. A lot of people know him from that. But I know him from a show called 30 Rock. He plays like one of the bellhops in 30 Rock, so I really enjoy him on that. But when he has like that distinct voice, like he's one of those people that has that voice, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, oh, that's Jack. He was in it too, and then I'm trying to think who else was in that episode too. I don't remember. I was gonna say someone else, but I don't remember. But I also like the episode. I like that we brought in some of these like immortal gods.
Oh yeah. You got to see more because like we got introduced to Liam, we got introduced to Ducktales.
Yep.
And then like Zeus was in it as well. I did love the fact that they all went to like the pantheon of gods to be like, the moon's attacking. They're like, we can't do anything, we're grounded. Like, what the freak? Literal gods are grounded all because of that. Which, fun fact, Storkeles is voiced by the same guy who does the Mickey Mouse voice. I didn't realize that, but I just looked. I'm now like Chris. Enjoying. Yeah, Chris Diamantopoulos. He also did the new Darkwing as well.
He's the voice actor for the original Mickey, but he's also the voice actor for there's another show that I'm gonna make you do. Yeah, he was in a lot of shows. He was in Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah. He's Les or whatever.
He's the one who's like, this guy looks like he knows how to. Yeah.
He also played in one episode of Community, if I'm correct. I don't remember which episode.
Rob.
I think he was.
most
but
likely.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I did want to say that I forgot about in the first season.
Mhm.
The voice acting talent, like the person who like coaches them in this
Mhm.
season, is done by Sam Riegel. All the series is done by Sam Riegel. Do you remember who Sam Riegel is?
Sam Riegel. That sounds so familiar.
So Sam Riegel is the guy who plays Scantlin on Critical Role.
Oh
Vox
yeah,
Machina.
yeah.
He is a great voice actor. He plays Teddy in Persona 4. He plays a handful of different voice actors, and anytime I hear his voice, I recognize it's him. Except for when he played it in the show, because he did a really gravelly voice, and I did not recognize him. But yeah, he was the voice actor talent. Like, he was the one who basically coached them on how to do their lines and everything. And the one thing I will say about this show is I think the voice acting is pretty top notch in the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Both
yeah.
the actors on who's voicing it, and as well as like who is like how they say stuff, I think is really well done.
You have to give it up for David Tennant though, because David Tennant does a really good job at Scrooge. Like, I think he does really well.
I just find it funny, right? Whenever I first heard Scrooge McDuck in the series and it was David Tennant, I'm like, man, it sounds so artificial. And then I found out, no, that's his actual voice. Like, that's how he naturally talks. He just does the like American accent for other things that he does.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like parallels, just because we see him so often in the American voice acting style that whenever he talks naturally, you're just kind of like, ooh, please keep talking, sir. Yeah. No, there's a very great rundown of characters
Mm-hmm.
in this show. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, when it comes to like the storyline as well, I think the storyline is very good. Because like the one thing I didn't notice until I looked up how many episodes were in each season is that each season is based upon one of the twins or one of the triplets.
Yep.
And it's like the first one was obviously Dewey.
Dewey, yeah.
It was Dewey, which is voiced by my man Ben Schwartz. And like I didn't like, I knew that he was focused a lot heavier, but I didn't like make that full connection that it was about his character growth. And then this season was Louis, and you can tell, especially at that point where he chooses to like take all of Scrooge's wealth for himself, and then ultimately fails and gives it back.
Louis' voice actor is good too. I only know him from SNL.
Yeah, that's why I know him from SNL as well. I remember watching the like whatever you want to call it, the opening, no, the teaser episode, basically what the first episode was last season. And at the end of it, they did like a panel with the Huey, Dewey, and Louie's voice actors. And up to that point, I didn't know who Dane Booten was. I knew who Ben Schwartz was, and I vaguely knew who he was. And so I was like, okay, I'm really excited for Ben Schwartz and that guy. I don't really know him too well. Now that I'm a fan of Community, I'm just like, yeah, David. And now I'm just like, yeah, no, the voice acting was absolutely phenomenal all across the board with who they got in this show. Also, I've now have like a soft spot for Kay, the voice actor of Wendy, because like she was Sadie, she was Wendy, like Webby. I mean, I keep saying Wendy, it's Webby. And I just like, I hear her more often now, and I'm like, dang. She always kind of sounds the same. I don't think she really like tries to edit her voice or anything, but she plays a very great like strong female child lead type deal. So I'm always for that. I think that's quality. Oh, just watching the little animatronic that's up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about another quote from Gears Worth that I liked, or Gyro, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
Gyro Gearloose. Whenever Scrooge looks at him, he's like, you have to go find where this tub is. He's like, I'm on it. Turns and he gets hit by lightning. He's like, I failed you right before I began. You disappear. Oh man, the timing on his jokes are so phenomenal. Like I can't deny, man. Like the show hits me in the funny bones a lot of times. This is a show that I very much enjoy to just rewatch and just have play in the background. And I would love if my kids want to watch it with me, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like that'd be fantastic. Also, get the kid to be into it so you can force them to watch the original Darkwing Duck as well, so that he can run around the house in the cheapest costume ever created.
Yep, let's get dangerous.
All the dangerous. It was a great season. Oh, also the fact that we learned that Donald Duck's anger issues have been driven to him versus the world to protect his kids or his nephews. I love that character development that you find out as well. Yeah, there's just a lot. I could sit here and just talk about little individual things I really like that they did. And I think it's very fun and great. Oh, we also learned the triplets' real names: Rebel, Turbo, and Jet. What their names were supposed to be. And then Dewey's just like, I could have been Turbo. You owe me like 10 years of Turbo.
Yeah.
Made me laugh so hard, man.
Good.
I loved it.
No, I loved it. That's fun.
Yep. I also love the character development of they're Della as well. Like whenever she comes back, she's like, I want to be the best mom ever. And to her, the best mom ever was just doing what she liked to do and like what kids like to do. And she has the whole thing with 22 to like, look, you have to be the adult, you have to be the mom. You can be their friend, but you have to be their mom first. And then she's like, she has to get sterner and harder, and she has to ground Louis. Like, great character development. Really enjoyed it, and it was a fun little season.
Did you one of our favorite voice actors this season? John DiMaggio.
Who did he voice?
He was in the episode with a Flint Heart where he loses his memory. He was one of the fisherman friends.
Oh no, I did not.
He was the other fisherman friend.
Yeah, I did not catch that.
Yeah, because when I first started hearing him talk, I was like, that sounds like DiMaggio, and DiMaggio's been in everything.
John DiMaggio has been in everything, which is funny enough because I've been playing Vampire VTM Bloodlines. And he plays Smiling Jack, which is like the tutorial helper and like out throughout the game. And the second he started talking, I'm just like, John DiMaggio, what are you doing to my falafel? But yeah, no, I did not know that he voiced him.
I wondered about that. That was one of them that I was thinking. I was like, I don't think Josiah remembered that.
No, if he played like a key role and I saw him more often than not, I would get it. Like I would understand, but because like he was only like a short one-off episode, there's a high chance I wasn't going to get it.
Makes sense.
But that's just me. Edgar Wright. Hey, I found the Edgar Wright guy that you mentioned.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Yeah. I was just scrolling down and I saw him. I was like, hey. Yep. What did he do?
He did like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, At World's End, all those.
Okay. All right. Solid.
Yeah, he's a big director. He was actually supposed to do the original Ant-Man movies, but there was some type of conflict that happened between him and the studio at the time that Ant-Man was coming on. So he did the screenplay for the first Ant-Man movie, but he never directed it. So
okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Really liked the season. I thought the season was great. I'm actually excited to watch the third season because I didn't get to ever finish the third season because it was not available on Disney Plus when I first watched it initially because I think it was still relatively new. so they didn't upload it at that point. So this will be fun to finally be able to finish it and watch it.
Yeah. Finish strong. Hopefully they finish strong.
Oh yeah, they will. Because the one thing that like I read online about this show, right, is that people are like, why was DuckTales canceled? It's like, it wasn't canceled. It just wasn't renewed for a third and fourth season because the director, much like Gravity Falls, like, I have a story I want to told. I told it within this 3 season. If we don't get renewed, that's okay. And so they're just like, no, let's end it. Let's finish it. Let's finish it off strong. And so I personally would prefer shows to finish strong either in 3 to 5 seasons and call it, right?
Yeah.
Again, I am also one of those people that would very much like to see most good shows go to at least 3. It's one of the reasons why I get so sad about Gravity Falls, because it went only 2 seasons. And I'm like, it should have went 3 seasons, 4. It's one of those shows that I think the writers just never missed, and I wish there was more of it. We still got a good amount of episodes, but I just wish there was more. This show, I think, there's like 24 episodes each season, which is solid. That's over. Like, we're basically going to finish with, like, if there's the same number of episodes in the next season as there is in this season, that's 75 episodes.
That's 6 episodes less.
6 episodes. Okay, that's
season 3 is 18 episodes.
Okay, that's not bad. Like, I think.
Wait, that's not 6 episodes. That's they have 28 episodes. Was it 28 episodes or 24?
24.
24. Just 4. Yeah, 6 episodes. Yeah, it's 18 episodes. Season 3.
I'm seeing season 3 has 22 episodes. So
maybe I read that wrong.
Yeah. So season 1 had 23, season 2 had 24, and season 3 had 22. So no, about the same. I'm saying it. Good strong number. Like, nothing makes me a little worried that whenever like a final season comes out and it's only like 8 episodes, because that tells you they're only giving you the key plot they have to, and then that's it. Like, they can't do any more. But if you're able to do 22 episodes, that means you can give key plot, you can give good episodes, you can spread it out properly so it doesn't all feel like forced into one episode. Heck yeah, I'm down for it. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I just keep looking up more and more stuff about it. Oh, also, one last thing I do want to say probably before we call it for the day. But the Glumgo episode, the final, the one where he gets all the family together, the episode before the final, and they do a special title card for Glumgold. And I don't know why, but I really like it when shows do like a special one-off title sequence for whatever reason. I talk about Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls did that with its weird Mageddon ending. Like, all the other time you have the normal opening scene, and then the last like 3 episodes or 4 episodes, however long it is, because it changes depending on where you watch from. They have like a demonic version where they play it, and just like in this one where they have the Glumgold version of the opener instead of the Ducktales original. I don't know. I just like that. More power to that. All right, Austin. Well, I think that basically covers it for this episode of Bros and Shows.
Yeah.
DuckTales season 2, very well done. We really liked it. Had a great time. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm ready to finish this out. I think it's a really good show, and I think it's great for what it was. The original had 3 seasons. This has 3 seasons. So I'm there for it.
So wait, hold on.
I think it's really.
You're telling me altogether there's 6 seasons? So maybe a movie?
6 seasons of the movie,
and it will be a multi-dimension splash season where the old DuckTales gets connected with the new DuckTales, and they have to restore the balance of their universes. That seems like it just writes itself, but no. I'm not going to do that. Marvel would just be like, please don't make us do more multiverse. We just finished it with Deadpool. All right, Austin. Well, I appreciate you joining me on this episode of Bros and Shows. Everyone out there, thank you all so much for stopping by, and thank you all so much for tuning in.